internet. How are you doing today? Welcome to Tales of Misadventure, where we do all kinds of short story style one-shots and tabletop games. If you'd like to check out some of our other adventures, go to Tales of Initiative's YouTube page and find Tales of Misadventure. We've got quite a few up there now. Pat, pat. Before we get too far, Ruben, do you have some words to say?
I do. Tales of Misadventures and Tales of Initiative as a whole continues to be supported by our super cool sponsors like TA Maps, Fernway Dice, Emberwind, and Day 20 Gaming. Mention Tales of Initiative to receive discounts on your orders. Thanks to all the wonderful creators who continue to support our streams, and definitely send us an email or contact us on any social media format if you're interested in sponsoring our content and getting shoutouts, just like one of our newest sponsors, Level 1 Gaming, for all of your D&D inspired apparel needs.
Hell yeah. Slay. Also, our merch store, if you want any of our lovely D&D themed bits and baubles, is live.
Mhm.
If you go to talesofinitiative.com. And also, a really cool thing that I've been trying to plug literally like for the last several weeks is the Storyfinders Guild. If you are somebody who needs a game to play in, but you have a schedule like all of us adults do where it's just crazy and you can't commit to anything, um, you have absolutely no free time. It's a drop in, drop out style guild situation where you make a character and then you play in some games, but you don't have to play in all of them. You kind of just throw your time in when you can. So you should
Mhm.
join the Discord and figure that out. It's fun. I'm in it.
Same.
Ruben's in it. I think Anna's in it.
I sure am.
I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know.
I am.
Everybody's
I just have
in
never played at the same time. Ah.
it.
Ooh, spicy. Okay. This is a thrilling two-part sequel to our Monster of the Week story, Mach 4 Mania. Everybody knows sequels are the best thing ever. This is a spooky and action-y space-themed Monster of the Week game. It's very similar to Monster Hearts. Just to give you an idea of gameplay, there are 5 stats: Charm, Cool, Sharp, Tough, and Weird. You use those 5 stats to roll your 2d6 for success on different moves that each playbook gives you. For example, you roll your 2d6 and add your Tough modifier in order to kick some ass and inflict harm. You also use your Tough modifier to protect someone and prevent harm from coming to them. We are flavoring all of our playbooks with space adventure themes to make them more relevant. The Spellslinger is our engineer. The Wronged is our medical officer. The Divine is our navigator. And the Flake is a kooky space scientist. No offense. You'll notice a lot of references to popular space TV shows, movies, video games, with the use of these playbooks in our plotline. But if we are ready to begin, would our lovely little spacers introduce themselves, starting with Alexia.
Hi, I am Lexi. I play Allison Fair. Basically, she is an angel sent from beyond, and now she's here, and shit happened last time, so we're gonna try to figure that stuff out.
I'm gonna try to figure it out.
Yeah.
Danny.
Hi, I am Octavia Locke. I am the Chief Medical Officer, and I am playing the Wronged. So, has lost a lot of people, has now lost more, and is very upset.
Big sad. Ruben.
Hi, I am playing Nicole Westinghouse, lovingly dubbed Nikki West. I am the engineer of the ship, the tech engineer, and um, spicy Latina, and hopefully can keep that spice going.
And Anna.
Right. I am playing Dr. Lysandra Mori, who had sent out the distress beacon that they followed in the last game and is now currently being held hostage on this ship. Much to her dismay. So,
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm playing the
Exciting.
Flake.
I'm
So,
ready.
Very exciting.
You guys aren't ready, but I'm ready. Also,
I like to think I'm ready.
you like to think you're ready? Well,
I hope so.
We just have to see if any of you have just completely ESP understood where I'm going with this storyline. 5 seconds
I don't
into the intro. Okay. Oh, speaking of intros, I put together a new one for you.
Ooh.
Roll intro. All right. So, space is an endless void. It is filled with different species, different galaxies, scientific advancement, and danger. Humanity is only one small percentage of this multicultural universe. But the advancement of humanity happened over a considerably short amount of time. Other species throughout space are astounded by the quick work that humans have made in joining the universal economy and political body, though most attribute it to their short lifespans. Humanity reached the stars for the first time in the later 1900s, and since then, they've done nothing but progress. Now it's the year 3090, and the Galaxy Command has created a prototype for a black matter drive core. They've designed a state-of-the-art ship capable of an insane speed of travel through space, and titled it the SS New Dawn. The crew of the New Dawn is an elite team that was hand-selected by Captain Athena McLaren, rest in peace, and Galaxy Command to travel the stars. Their mission? To travel to places past the places where everybody's gone. This is the universe, an unknown field ready to be explored. These are the adventures of the SS New Dawn. Crew! You are hurtling through space with a prisoner on board, one Dr. Mori, who was largely to blame for the outbreak on Io Station. You successfully escaped the parasite-ridden station in a wild explosion of action, with a very clutch move from Lieutenant Fair. She got everybody safely aboard the ship. My first question is, what is everybody doing during this travel time as you rocket toward Galaxy Command HQ? You radioed Earth, but were told that Dr. Mori's risk level required her to be brought to HQ on the Ark, where all sentient galactic life makes a home and governs space. So you have a little bit of a ride to go. Where are we? What are we doing?
I think Nikki is currently um just trying to recall the like mass generator that she saw on Io, and like looking at like the dark matter engine, and then like remembering what she saw on that colony and just trying to be like, okay, so how do I put those two things together?
Okay.
And it's just like drawing up a bunch of wild schematics, just like a pile of papers all crumpled and torn like off to the side, just like as she's going through different ideas. And it's like, no, this will definitely make us explode.
What does your little engineer room kind of by the engine bay look like?
It is an absolute pigsty. Like there are half completed contraptions littered all over the place. Just bags upon bags, nets upon nets of just spare parts from things that I have repurposed over the years. Um, but the only thing that actually makes sense in this space is like her actual desk and whiteboard, which is like just has pristine calculations across the entire thing.
I love it. I love it. So go ahead and roll. We've kind of equated electricity to magic here, so roll to use magic.
Okay. Do-do-do-do-do. So that's going to be a 12.
Hey, nice.
The one
Um,
thing I can't fail at, apparently.
there you go. So you sit there, and honestly, to everybody else, you kind of just disappeared for like a whole, maybe a day, 2 days. Um, Closed up into your little engine room cubbyhole, just writing, writing, translating, looking back into books that you have not touched since your first year of space school. Like this is the kind of deep dive that you went on. And you think, given the right tools, the right access to technology, it's possible to maybe make the warp core less stable and therefore use it in the same way that the colony was using the lava on Io.
Mhm.
Like you could kind of just unleash a little bit of the warp energy so that it self-sustained and then fed into the loop. Some solid thoughts here. You would definitely need to dock somewhere for a little while to make that work, though. It's gonna take a
And
minute.
remembering a long time past event, I definitely need to bolster the shielding lest I give myself radiation poisoning again.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of radiation poisoning, Dr. Locke, what are you doing during this time?
I think when she's not like doing like the paperwork for like what happened to the captain and everything, she is sitting right in front of the cell with a shotgun.
I love it. Describe for me, one, what the med bay on the ship looks like.
Sure. I think it's a little sparse, but very futuristic. Um, she doesn't Octavia likes things neat and tidy, especially in the med bay. Her room's a bit of another story. But yeah, it's just a couple of beds, lots of machines, a desk in the corner, some files. Yeah.
So when you're not in there, at your computer, typing and typing and typing, and it takes a while to get some of that paperwork through, just because of the nature of what happened. But the rest of the time, you're sitting in front of this cell that has kind of energy bars that come down. It's not the worst looking cell ever. You guys did take out a lot of the technology that would have existed in there. But it's got a bed, a nice, like, they're roughly the same grade as you guys. It's got a desk, pencil, paper. And on the other side, Dr. Mori, what are you doing?
Is Dr. Locke sitting currently across the bars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think I'm just like sitting on the bed, like, we seem to be keeping up this guardianship very well, I guess. Is a better way to say it.
Yeah. Well, we don't need anything happening on the ship. And I don't trust you.
Probably smart.
Ooh,
Oh, I know it is.
spicy. If this was Monster Hearts, I would make you guys both roll hot. But it's not.
Could be.
Do it anyway.
Surprise.
Yeah,
Surprise.
surprise! Okay, we're just
For some
shifting.
change.
Total different game now. It's okay, it works the same way.
I think that I'm just like looking through any notes that I still have. Like just like random papers that I would have had like in pockets and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Make me
Just making sure that I have them.
Make me a sharp. Just a general sharp roll.
Math.
Math!
7.
7?
Yeah.
You rolled both of your d6s?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Was I not supposed to?
No, you're good, you're good. You're good. It's just, that's just a mixed good, you know? It's just a mixed
Uh-huh.
good.
Makes a lot of sense for the position I'm in.
You, unfortunately, they did confiscate most of your logs that you had, but what they could not do is take your like elevating copyright words, your brain link. What they couldn't do is cut that off. So some of these files you can kind of just pull up and look at just by blinking and moving your fingers in the right ways.
Gotcha.
And like it's not hard for you to also kind of be interestingly mirroring what Nikki is doing, but just drawing kind of on the walls of the cell.
I think I'm doing that, and at some point I turn back to fellow doctor here, and it's a shame what happened to your captain. From just what I've heard, anyway.
Oh, I think you know all about what happened.
Maybe.
I think my hand tightens on the gun.
Let's go back to doing nothing. My only goal is to just ultimately nothing that they can do right now. So
Love it.
Yeah.
And before I tug on that string just a little bit, because I'm going to here in just a minute, Lieutenant Fair, what are you doing? It's the ship is pretty good at getting a course that you put in and going.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to be at the control panel the whole time, but there is a new sense of like, oh shit, because technically speaking, you are the commander on deck.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Basically, she is sitting at the control panel and she's biting her nails. She has like one leg up and her hair is like shaved on the sides, and she has like serious blood on her fingernails where she keeps going but stops and goes to the other finger and keeps going, stops, goes to the other finger. She is incredibly nervous but very, very mad at herself that she lost a soul but gained another one, but this one's bad, so she don't know what the heck to do, and then now she has to control the entire ship by
shit.
herself. So it's just very nervous.
Will you roll act under pressure?
Oh, sure. I would love to do that. That is a cool, right?
Cool.
Mhm.
Ooh,
Yes,
got this.
I rolled a 9.
A 9?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to focus on your job with that looming over your head. And to make the bloody tips of your fingers worse, you can feel that connection to the divine. Like you can feel them. You can feel that like they want an update of sorts. And you're waffling for maybe the first time in your life about whether to respond to that connection immediately. You don't know if you're ready to talk about losing a soul yet. But on the outside, the biggest notifier that you are a little worried is the chewed on tips of your fingers. So do with that what you will.
I'm just gonna kind of like push them away and rub them a little bit. Okay. And my legs start shaking.
Oh,
Okay, whatever, it's fine. Just put both my legs down and they both start shaking. Okay, this is annoying. I'm just gonna go walk to the med bay, get like a band-aid or whatever squirt thingy, whatever, and just put it on my fingers and go back to the control panel.
I love it. Your fingers are shaking a little bit, so you kind of like you do that thing where you take off the sticky part of the band-aid and
Mm-hmm.
fuck it up the first time. So like you have one that's just like halfway on, and then you just put
Mm-hmm.
another band-aid on over that one, because that's definitely how that works.
Mm-hmm.
But easy enough. As I was gonna phrase some of this as a question, but I will phrase only the first part as a question to all of you. Did you bring Captain McLaren's body with you?
Yes.
Where did you put it?
Probably in the med bay. I'm sure there's like a morgue or like a small place to put bodies because stuff happens. you know.
For sure. Okay. Dr. Locke, roll cool.
Cool. That's an 8.
Not awful. Mixed good. Mixed good. You are watching Dr. Mori sit there, scribbling, thinking, doing nothing, taunting you. And there's kind of this moment where you don't realize it, but you are starting to kind of fall asleep just because adrenaline, and every time you've had a moment, you kind of spent that moment with this shotgun trained on Dr. Mori. You haven't gotten a whole lot of sleep. And in your dreams, all you see is the lifeless eyes of your captain. You see the blood. You hear her voice telling you that it's going to be okay. You hear her voice as she trying to relay in her last moments what she had seen. It's haunting. And you see Dr. Mori imposed over your captain's face. And it's a nightmare. You are trapped in these hallways, in this stupid dark space station, and everywhere you turn, it's her dead body in this woman's laughing face. How do you react?
Angry.
What would you do in this dream?
I think... Actually, you know what? I think she would probably just try to run from it in the dream. And the more that she can't get away, the angrier she gets. And just kind of starts, like, shoving the captain or the doctor away.
You're running, you're shoving your hands out in front of you, pushing things aside, tripping over your own feet. And you trip and fall hard into the cold, like metal floor. And your eyes open and you're on the floor sideways, staring at the cell, blinking your eyes open blearily. Your gun did not go off because in your sleep you were able to maintain your cool and not twitch a finger onto that trigger.
Oh my god.
Oh my
see-
god.
Did I see them fall?
Yeah, Dr. Mori, you definitely do. You're watching. Their dream seems very bad. It does not look good. There's twitching, grumbling, and then kind of like a schlorp to the side. And the gun kind of skitters out of their fingers.
Fun dream, I imagine?
Shut up.
Just asking a question.
I'm gonna scramble up and grab my gun again.
Okay. Easy enough to do. Easy enough to do.
What are you laughing at?
You guys? Nikki, you have like not eaten anything in about 3 days, because you've just been writing on your chalkboard walls, on your dry erase walls,
Mhm.
and you're walking through the halls right as Lieutenant Fair is heading back to the command deck. She's fumbling, trying to put bandages, it looks like, around her fingers.
I think a lot of the recent behavior from Nikki is actually like a trauma slash stress response.
Mm-hmm.
And so like just constantly going through all these schematics, it's the thing that comforts her. And she sees Lieutenant Fair and is like, hey, Allison, do you think things would have been different if I had modified like the output so we could get there faster? Would that have No, that wouldn't have worked. Um, what's up? What are you doing?
Uh, do you want me to answer the first question?
I answered it already, it's fine.
Okay. And I honestly don't know how to answer this question. Well, actually, I haven't it's not really my first time. The other thing is that this is like my 30th time trying to like
Uh,
bring back Soul. So I'm like, going crazy, and then me being like in charge of a ship that I haven't really been in charge of for a very long time. And but I know where to go, and I know who is here. I guess. Okay. I don't know.
wait, I'm confused. This is your 30th time being a captain? What?
Bodyguard of sorts.
Well, but you're captain though
Yeah,
now, right?
yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna just walk away.
Uh, good talk. Uh, cool. Just kind of like picking at my own fingers and just kind of like just little involuntary twitches as I just kind of like walk down the hallway uh over like towards the med bay to find Octavia.
You
Um
walk into the medbay and you do not find Octavia, but what you do see is her computer open on the report that she was writing last. Are you nosy enough to look at it?
um I don't think I can't not look at it. Like I'm going there for like some kind of um like nutrient supplements, like some sort of like nutrient paste or something like that to kind of like so my brain doesn't stop working. Um but just like as I'm walking by, like just rapid eye movement, just looking at as much as I can, taking in as much information as I can to try and like keep my mind off things and also not look towards the back of the med bay.
You do know exactly which drawer she's in. Exactly which drawer. Um and amongst all the normal medical things to note, like her height, her medical history, cause of death, there's always room for notes and reasons. And the Galaxy Command likes to have a story that fits their captain's deaths. So, this in mind, Dr. Locke, what would you have written about your captain and her death?
I think that I would have said that she was an amazing captain that had a plan, but what we found we weren't prepared for, but she was a hero in protecting the rest of us. And that's why we were able to get out.
Beautiful. Nikki, just roll me cool.
I'm not good at that. Shut up.
A sensitive time aboard the SS New Dawn.
That's plus
Put attention.
1. It's a 6.
Oof. Yeah. You get about halfway through reading these paragraphs about how Captain McLaren was amazing and is probably the reason everybody's alive, and etc., 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 and your fingers start trembling. And you kind of freeze right there. Sink down, and just kind of time lapses on itself. In the room, it feels too tight. You're not entirely sure what's going on, but you know what's going on. But you would think that somebody of your mental acuity would be able to just push past something like this. But you can't. You're standing there. The floor's looking real good right now.
I think I just kind of like reach into my pocket and I find like just a screw, like just a screw from something that I was like disassembling or assembling or something. And I just kind of like sit on my heels and like completely unconsciously just start scrawling into the ground with this nail things that technologically I could have done, like schematics that I could have had, or um or a piece of technology that I didn't finish yet that I could have given to her and it might have saved her. Like just ideas that I had that haven't been approved by Galaxy Command or something that would have saved her life. And I just start scrawling schematics into the ground, just kind of unconsciously, as my mind just kind of blinks on itself.
Dr. Locke, Billy comes over the intercom. And I know, my God, I'm sorry. And he's like, Dr. Locke, Lieutenant West is in the med bay.
Oh, thank you, Billy.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like look at the doctor like for a few more seconds before I walk off towards the med bay.
My first question is, Dr. Mori, is there anything you want to do when you know that there are no eyes on you?
I think I immediately just start making like mental notes of things that I can tell are affecting their crew.
Okay.
Like anything possible that I could use to my advantage. Or like even like anything in my room, I guess, that I could tinker with enough to potentially use,
Okay.
but just not making it at this moment.
Okay.
That's the vibe. Evil. Because they took all my stuff. I don't know why.
You can, gee, I wonder, huh?
I didn't do
It's a
nothing.
mystery.
The other,
We're the villains.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you give Nikki enough time in their brain, Galaxy Command might become the villain.
Right.
I will say that Dr. Mori, you can roll just sharp. You can investigate a mystery, or if you have a move that applies, you may also roll for that.
Ooh. No, but I should have reread these moves again because I could have used these earlier. We're gonna just do a sharp roll.
Okay.
As a 6.
Oof. Baby.
She's
Use some
thinking
different
of too
dice.
many things.
Too many.
Hey!
Too
Hey,
many
get them
things.
levels while you can. Get them
That's
levels
true.
while you can.
Make sure
Exactly.
to mark experience for your failures thus far.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's a 3-for-1 special.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you'll get a new move to use.
You know?
You know?
Oh,
So
wait.
it's really hard to balance figuring out these people because while you've been here for a hot second, not all of them have come down to visit you, and really a lot of the time it's just Dr. Locke's stony, cold face looking back at you a little murderously. I would say the best thing you can note, because I'm a wonderful DM, and I don't think that failing a roll when it's something you're good at constitutes utter failure. But you kind of note the distress that is threaded throughout all the crew members. You make a note of that. Like, clearly the captain meant a lot to them. Clearly all of them are put off by recent events. And there's nothing really in your room that you can use, but there's a pencil, there's a desk, there's a bed, it has sheets on it, there's a pillow. They bring you food, but it's usually just like what you would imagine a ration bar to be, like some kind of just protein bar.
It's a Luna bar.
That's slated. Hey, sponsor us, please.
Right?
Yeah, that they just kind of slide to you through a little opening. You do know exactly the type of power that's powering the ship. It is a dark matter warp drive. You can tell based on the way that all the electricity looks. You can tell by the faint ebb, I guess you could say, in the electricity as the drive shifts.
Okay.
But also because of that, you know that there are no secret panel boxes that you could shove a fork into and then short circuit something. You would have to wait for a whole ship-wide power outage to be able to get out.
Okay.
Or taunt somebody into opening yourself for you. Dr. Locke, you walk into the med bay and you see Nikki crouched over a spot on the floor, just scraping things into the floor. Equations, notes, different types of weapons, different types of shields. She looks a little out of it.
I'm gonna crouch down next to her, careful not to touch her yet, and say, Nikki.
I just kind of mumble, but if the shields were oscillating, then that would give more protection, I think.
Nikki.
And so
I'll reach out and touch, gently touch the hand that's writing and try to pick it up.
This is kind of with a start, just kind of yeah, what's up?
What happened?
Oh no, I just I had an idea and I didn't want to waste time and lose the thought, I think. Do we have any more nutrient paste?
Nikki, roll cool. Octavia, roll sharp.
Well, I'm not good at that.
Or roll, because you're a medic. What are? Because I feel like you should have something that kind of lets you assess somebody's. I don't know.
Not
mental state or
yeah.
something.
What would be
exactly?
maybe weird. You could roll cool or you could roll weird. Or no, you could roll sharp or you could roll weird. My bad.
Okay. I might roll weird. I'll roll weird. Oh! 11. 12 on the weird.
What did you roll, Nikki?
I got a 9.
Okay, so you think that you're pulling it together, and you kind of are rapidly pulling yourself. The physical touch almost shook you out of the state that your brain was in. And these excuses, these words come to mind, and you pluck them out, and you spit them out, and you give them very easy excuses for why you might be just randomly scrawling stuff onto a floor. But, Dr. Locke, you've seen this crew at their best and at their worst. And you know a panic attack when you see it. And they were definitely a little lost.
Yeah. I kind of just keep hold of the hand with the nail in it and squeeze it, and I'm just gonna try to look in Nikki's eyes and say, "It's okay to not be okay right now."
There's a little bit of I'm looking at you, but also trying to but you can tell I'm forcing myself to look at you. My eyes want to not look at you. So just little twitches in the irises, trying to dart away.
Okay. I think seeing that and having PTSD herself, she's just gonna pull Nikki in for a hug, and a very firm hug so that she's more grounded into the moment. I just firmly rub her back and just say, "It's okay, just breathe with me," and then take very like deliberate breaths.
Easy enough. Easy enough. We will pan out on this moment a little bit. And if I can find my notes. Jesus. There they are. I found them. I want to know, Dr. Mori.
Yes.
A lot of the people that you've murdered, I say this with the
So
utmost
casually.
love in my heart for you. And this character, it's a beautiful character. I love them so much.
Experiments, not murder.
Right, experiments aren't murder.
No.
It's not murder, it's science.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to know what Dr. Mori's excuse for herself is. Because you killed the captain. You did it to draw the others to you, presumably. But that was one of a handful of kills under your belt where you had to look somebody in the eyes when a knife went into them and they stopped breathing. So I want to know what's going through Dr. Mori's head.
She's the only one that knows about the other murders.
Mm-hmm.
When she's had to literally personally stab somebody in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as anyone else knows, everyone died from a tragic accident that she held as an experiment. She was trying to get out of there. And it just so happens that to me, their captain got in the way. But what she'd say is that she was like altered some way, trying to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
I needed a way to get people to help me. I have a story.
All of these opinions, these different voices, kind of float through your head. Because every aspect of how you read a situation kind of has its own voice and its own reason for acting. So when you're thinking about this alone in this room, looking at it from multiple perspectives, all you hear in your head is like the sound, that gross wet sound as a knife goes in, and then you hear altered, self-defense, had to get out, had to get out, had to get out, had to get out, just repeating kind of on a loop. Behind the cunning and tactical, sharp thoughts that are in the forefront of your brain. Is there anything else anybody wants to do real quick before I shift notes a little bit?
I'm scared.
Who?
Right?
I'm fine. Everything's fine. Great as that, me and Rise did talk about this beforehand, so I'm just kind of,
You know, I just want to know who this character is to you, Anna. Like, I just want to know.
me. She's great. I never play villains, so this is fun.
I love it. I think she's a perfect villain.
I love her.
Perfect. She's got a cause.
Very good.
Alex, you kind of
She
look
just
like you want
wants
to
to
do
know
something.
all the things. It's research. Research. Knowledge.
Kinda,
What you
but
thinking?
it's so it says at the beginning of each mystery, I have to roll a plus weird for the boss from beyond.
Okay.
And I want to know what they would say, so or if I actually have to do it. Because if I miss it, I have to do something crazy.
At the beginning of each adventure, roll plus weird. On a plus 10, your superior just asked you to do something small. 7 to 9, they ask you to do something complicated or difficult. In either case, you get to ask them one question from the investigate a mystery move. I'll say hold on to that for just a second. You're gonna want it in a minute.
Oh God. I regret it.
And the next thing is that suddenly you feel the ship stop. You feel it jerk and roll a little. There's gravity inside, so whatever, but you feel it. You feel the ship as it rockets around and falls out of warp. Lights flash. Everything slows. Gravity suspends. In this moment, Allison, you're looking at your fingers, wrapping band-aids around them, wondering if you should talk to those higher beings. Dr. Locke and Nikki are hugging in the med bay and trying to comfort each other, and Dr. Mori is sitting on the bed, calm, just kind of inside her brain. And then the lights go out, or so that you fall unconscious. The next thing you see is a purplish blue sky, clouds that are almost sharp. They're so cold, whipping past your face, just about cutting your skin. And the other folks in your ship falling around you. And then darkness again. And then a sudden jerk that drags you out of unconsciousness with the urge to vomit. A parachute exploding from your back. And your descent slows very suddenly, even though the ground is still coming quickly. I would like everybody to make a tough or a cool check.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Hi.
Both those are horrible for me, but it should be fun. Oh!
Mhm.
You know, these dice were so nice to me when we played Monster Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
11.
11, you said, Dr. Luck?
I
With
got
tough.
to 9.
I have a +2 to tough.
Well,
Ooh.
I got a 4, 5, 6, 7.
7? Question mark?
7.
Okay. Who rolled? Anna, you rolled a 9, you said?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, as you were rocketing through the air, Nikki and Dr. Mori, you kind of are in and out of consciousness. Like, the amount of G's that are being pulled on your body right now are crazy. And you wake up fully with a feeling of just sudden pain as your body impacts the ground. Dr. Locke and Lieutenant Fair, I don't know if this is worse or better, but you are fully aware as you rocket down towards the ground. Is there anything you want to do in your panic? Because you're aware. You don't know why, how, when, what, but you know that ground is coming up and it's coming up fast.
Wings.
Okay.
Do I see Octavia?
She's like a
I
little far away from you, but yeah.
I immediately go like fly to her, making sure that I sort of catch her in a way.
Okay. So, go ahead and roll plus weird.
Weird. Okay. Cool. And is it a 9?
The what?
A 9.
Yay.
Can I roll to help out?
Mm.
Like, since I'm fully aware, I'm trying to stop myself from tumbling and get in like a good position.
I will say yes, you can, because
Okay.
you are aware and you do have a parachute, so there is kind of a way of wriggling your way a little closer, maybe.
Cool. That got me a 10. So my help grants them a +1.
So then, Alexi rolled a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So a 10 and up is insurmountably better than a 9.
Very.
Because children, a 10, you go where you wanted. A 9, you
Yeah.
don't quite manage it. It's just
Nope.
that simple. So easy enough. You kind of are able to get over to Octavia, hug her up, and then you are trying to kind of bamf. Where are you technically trying to go?
Do I see anything besides ground?
You see ground.
Oh crap! I'm just going to like make sure I hit the ground with my feet first, and then kind of like tumble back, making sure that she is on me
Okay.
and
I
that
will
everything else hits me instead of her.
I will for sure say that because of your successful roll with angel wings, that you are able to get Octavia to make sure that your body kind of acts as a shield and land appropriately, so you take no damage from this fall. However, those of you that failed, just take 1 harm for me. Take 1 ouchie.
1
Ow.
ouchies.
Mm-hmm. Just 1 ouchie. Only 1.
Quick question.
Yeah.
We still have all the harm that we had from the first time.
I will say no, because it's been several days.
Okay.
So go ahead
Gotcha.
and reset harm.
I know the answer is no, but does my my enchanted jacket help my harm?
What does your enchanted jacket do?
Enchanted clothing. Pick an article of everyday clothing. It is my my jacket from just before. It is enchanted without any changes in appearance. Take -1 harm from any source that tries to get through the garment. I would say no because it's more concussive.
I would say no. Just because I feel like I'm already being polite by only giving you 1 fall damage.
That's fair.
But you don't have any dire injuries, probably
Like
because of it.
no puncture wounds and stuff.
Right. There's no where a lot of people would end up with like bruised ribs and shit. you're okay. Especially tiny people. Especially tiny
Yes.
Latinas like you.
Yeah, the smaller you are, the higher you can fall from. That's the
Right!
rule, right?
That's how that works. So, you, in some way or another, find the ground. The ground finds you, one of the two. Lieutenant West and Dr. Mori, you wake up. But you don't see each other. And you don't see your comrades. I will give Lieutenant Vera and Octavia the first move, though, in trying to figure out what the fuck is happening, since they were aware when they hit the ground.
I'm going to let go of Octavia, making sure that she's okay, pat her down, making sure that she has no cuts, no bruises or anything, whatever. And then I'm going to look around to see if anything looks wrong.
Okay, go ahead and you can use your boss from beyond if you would like at this point. But just trying to gauge what's happening, I would say roll investigate a mystery.
Okay, so where's Cobras? Okay.
Can I
Yes.
also roll for that, or do I just help out?
You can.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
do either.
I rolled a 10.
A 10? Ooh.
Three.
Okay.
My luck has run out. That is a
Oh.
3.
Oh no! You got nothing, Octavia. You got nothing.
I did level up though.
Hey! New moves. New pluses. New fancy things. You make that little connection with your people from beyond. And
For the beyond. For the weird, I rolled a 10.
you make that connection. And like the first thing you get when you make that kind of, you open up your brain to that outside force. The first thing you get is a little bit of irritation from the fact that you haven't given them an update on the last thing that was going down. So there's that. But I will say, go ahead and ask them one question from the Investigate a Mystery section. Actually, I'll say you can ask them two, because I'm nice.
Guys.
The bestest.
It's pretty cool.
Why are they all what questions? Oh,
You
where?
can feel free to adjust them
When
too.
are we?
When are we?
Why are we?
Why?
Okay.
How is
I'm
Gamora?
going to ask, where did we go?
Okay.
And what happened to us?
Okay. So there is kind of a radio frequency feedback moment in your head. It's sharp, but not unfamiliar. And you can see, and they kind of whisper these images of a planet. kind of out in the boondocks of the galaxy, that has 2 suns. And then there's just these whispers of... let me see what words I used, so I don't accidentally stumble upon one I can't use. This is the game hunting world of several of the galaxy's most predatory aliens. You don't know where it is. They don't even know where it is.
Oh my god.
But you're on a planet. You're definitely still in the galaxy. You just kind of don't know exactly where in the galaxy you are. And as to what happened, you get these images of the outside of the ship. You get these images of something coming at you sideways from warp, which doesn't even, like, the physics of it don't even make sense. But it's like something grabbed you out of your warp. You were knocked unconscious, dragged aboard a ship that looks unfamiliar, but looks a little squid-like, and jettisoned onto this planet.
So,
Octavia, you are looking at the sky and you're like, oh, the sky's purple. It has 2 suns.
It's kind of pretty.
Oh, that one is a red sun. That's cool. That's a blue sun. Oh, that's why the sky is purple.
That's kind of nice.
Oh boy.
oh god.
Hey, Lucia, did you notice how the sky is purple? It's kind of pretty.
I'm just gonna say out loud, you've gotta be shitting me. Oh,
Hey, no, it's purple. You can just look up.
oh my, we have to get out of here. Oh my god, we have to get out of here. Oh. Help me, you see in the fall, please. Somebody help you.
What are you talking about?
Okay. You, yeah, okay, calm down. I'm cool. You know that I'm like a celestial and what I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm kind of freaking out. You know that I can talk to like sort of higher beings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they told me that basically something shot out of our warp and grabbed us and basically pulled us onto their ship and then just fucking pushed us off. Right?
That's not good.
I don't know exactly where we are, but I know that this planet specifically is a fucking hunting ground.
Oh shit.
We are being hunted. I don't know right now. I don't know. Oh my god, I'm from this point forward. We have to be extremely careful.
Okay.
Okay.
We need to find Nikki right now.
And
Dr. Mori, fuck her.
Yeah.
We need to find her. It's all good.
No,
Fuck
whatever.
Dr. Murray, I don't care. Get eaten.
I feel like the minute Dr. Locke finds me, she'll try to kill me. So
That's fair. That's fair. I will say, Allison, your before request from the higher beings still maintains these are still your souls. These are all still your souls.
Thank God.
Um, and the second thing that you get as a request for your questions is you have to figure out a way to transmit the location of this planet to your higher beings.
Ew.
Ooh.
They want to know where it is.
Interesting. Interesting.
Okay. But I want to get off.
But I want to leave. Okay. Nikki, what do you do as soon as you wake up? You hit the ground, you feel oof, and
I try and catch my breath that has no doubt escaped me. Um, and completely disoriented, I just kind of like unbuckle myself from my parachute and everything, and I just kind of stand and I look around, and I'm looking for the ship. Like I'm looking for our ship. Like I'm looking in the sky, looking for like light from like a fire if we crashed or something, and like Billy ejected us, or anything, like any sign of like our technology.
you don't even need a roll. Um, because you don't see anything familiar. You aren't even close enough to the ship to feel that weird signature electrical current that you get from it sometimes. Like you and the ship are besties. Like
Yeah.
you could tell that frequency apart from several other ships. But you feel weirdly alone. Um and stranded because all that's around you is trees, a very weird purple sky, some strange rocks.
My next best thought is to close my eyes and feel for like bodily kind of feel for where, like which direction there's more gravity, because I'm thinking, like I'm still under the impression that the ship crashed,
Mm-hmm.
and if it crashed, that means the dark matter drive is probably compromised, which means a black hole is probably forming somewhere.
Yay!
So I'm just gonna be like it's more of like an intuition thing of I'm just gonna pick a direction to start walking where I think there's more gravity.
So, interesting point. Interesting point. Go ahead and roll plus weird.
Okay.
As this does tie into your
Uh,
interesting
11.
situation. Alright, okay, cool. So, the weird thing is, your internal compass is kind of just going in circles. Um, you stand there, and your automatic thought is, "Oh fuck, the ship crashed. We're there to black hole." But fuck. And you reach out, but there's no clear gravitational north. It just makes your
Okay.
head spin, kind of get a little dizzy. But because you did roll so high, you do feel the really weird frequency of Dr. Mori not too far away.
I'm gonna walk towards her.
Dr. Mori, what are you doing as you open your eyes?
I think I'm just gonna see like if I see anyone around. And if not, just kind of take in the surroundings, kind of realizing that they don't have me captured anymore. I'm technically free. I have no idea what this planet is. So, in my mind, I'm fine.
It's all good. You just
great.
are suddenly free and in a forest of some kind.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I will say, you do notice that there are 2 suns, which is weird and not a thing that's familiar to you at all. So you are somewhere that you do not recognize.
Okay.
But otherwise, do you want to roll anything, or do you just gonna just take off in a direction?
I'm in like a woodsy area, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll take like whatever rope I can get from the like parachute that we were using.
Mhm.
And then just like try to kind of gather supplies to defend myself if I need to. So like getting like sticks and things and like I don't know. So I'm not trying to go anywhere yet, but gathering things. We're gonna try.
Perfect. Roll. Act under pressure.
Cool. That is a 6.
You manage to get the rope. Easy enough. But there's really not a whole lot. Like, you find a rock.
Fair.
You got a rock.
Alright. This is a cool rock.
It's a cool rock.
This is a great rock.
It's
Best rock.
and it's at this point that you all notice a kind of like a shipping container falling from the sky. Also parachutes. Aimed not too far away from it, where it seems you guys all landed. You don't know whether this shipping container will have something trying to eat you, or maybe it has your missing supplies, your weapons, at all. And I think that this is where we're gonna end tonight's session.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fun.
I think so.
Can't wait to fight Danny next time.
Get fucked.
Just fight Danny and some
yeah?
strange predatory race at the same time. It's cool.
No. I don't care about no predatory race. I just gotta fight Danny.
That's great. So Anna's gonna die first.
That is my goal.
Really?
Not if I have
No.
anything to say about it.
Yes,
I need a
Right.
soul.
yes, it is my goal. If it messes them up, then yes.
No, stop it! You're gonna kill me.
Yo, Braz asked me to be a villain and then said, "Hey, come back and play the same character," and said nothing about not still being a villain. So
Yeah.
here I am, and I'm just gonna cause chaos.
It's just
No.
still
Amazing.
villain. Yeah. I
You
love
what?
it. Everybody
Look at
kind of has,
Love it.
except Nikki. I think Nikki's the only person that doesn't have an opposing goal at the moment.
Yeah,
And
basically.
I think
I
that's
think-
great.
I will give Nikki a reason to hate me. Just watch.
Oh dear, I'm ready. And we'll see you next week to see what
Yeah.
happens.
Bye.
Bye.